Hello and welcome to Ball Street. I'm here with Paul, Chris, Redmen TV, and him, Robbie from Arsenal Fan
You
TV.
literally just can't help yourselves, can you?
You two are like best mates now. You're on every show every week.
Spoil the
with each
illusion.
other.
Don't spoil the illusion.
You can't get that word arsehole out of his mouth, you know. So.
Whatever. We're here to talk about something very, very important. In fact, I think it's the most important thing that happened in British football for a long, long time. It's the walkout on 77 minutes that happened in the game between Liverpool and Sunderland. Redmen were down here,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and thought it was a good opportunity to have a chat about it.
Well, I think you're right. I think that was the most important thing at the time, but I think moving it on, obviously the response, isn't it, is the thing that's the biggest thing in this. Great to see the fan movement, but that was one sort of groundbreaking thing. Follow up is owners going, oh shit, yeah, actually that was a bit of a bad idea.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I've never, in football, you kind of don't expect anything from the owners to have a complete U-turn.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, fair enough, we got it wrong.
We were chatting before on a Friday or whatever and saying, will there be any uptake on it? Will Liverpool fans get behind it? And it's like, well, I don't know. I hope so. But and then you don't even dare think about what the ultimate outcome might be. We were worried that no one would do it in the first place. Over 10,000 people walked out, and that kind of fan power swayed the owners. Brilliant.
Robbie, from obviously inside Liverpool, they're going to be very positive about it. How do you feel about what happened?
Very positive about it as well. I think it's incredible what they did. I first of all thought they'd struggle to get, the amount of people to walk out as well, because remember when Newcastle done a similar thing, they had people walking out but not enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, they might struggle, but the fact that 10,000 people walked out, and I also think the fact that they were winning 2-0 and they actually ended up drawing the game, for me that was significant as well, because I reckon it definitely affected the players. If you're playing and you're out of the corner of your eye, you can see all these people walking out, they're no longer interested in the game, they're singing about other stuff, and the owners and stuff. That's going to affect you. I'm sorry, that is going to do something to your concentration. The fans are no longer really behind you, and I think that was very significant as well, because that's showing the owners of these clubs that, without fans, there ain't no football. It's not the same thing.
Chris, what did you mentioned when we spoke earlier about the atmosphere, the very strange atmosphere in Liverpool?
It was the weirdest atmosphere I've ever been a part of, to be honest with you. I think from the time that you were walking down to the ground, you could tell something was afoot. You could really tell the mood just wasn't there. It dominated conversation on the way down to the ground. Every conversation that you even overheard or took part in was all about the walkout. I was speaking to fellas that I've never spoken to before, that I've sat next to over the years and stuff, and everybody was asking each other, what are you doing? How do you think about it? How many people do you think are going to walk out? And I think it was telling that the singing section of the Cop Block 305 basically never sang for the entire game. And there was pockets of supporters trying to get chants going, and they couldn't get them going because it was a protest from the kickoff. And then to hit 70 minutes and then them start chanting out on 77. And then at 73 or 74, we started singing You'll Never Walk Alone, and it was so loud, so vociferously sung, that you just realise you were part of something that you've never been a part of before. And then for us basically all to walk out, and you just see these streams of people, and it wasn't just like enough is enough and you greedy bastards and all that type of stuff. When people were leaving the ground, they were singing Liverpool, because these are people who have spent so much money over the years to go and support their club, and it is the hardest thing in the world to walk out on something that you love. And that's what you can't forget about this. We have paid a lot of money to go there, and to walk out hurt every single Liverpool fan that day. But ultimately, it was for something good and greater than just Liverpool fans. It was for the good of English football, and I'm so proud of Liverpool fans for that.
It's so much pride, because this is the thing, is that Liverpool kind of becomes a bit of a butt of jokes over the years, oh, it's them Scousers game, whinging Scousers, blah, blah, blah. The fact that, they've taken that, because look, Liverpool's a city that likes to take umbrage with social issues, you know what I mean? And, we've been at the forefront of a lot of these things over the years, the very socialist city, and that, it's great to see that, absolutely. But just, moving it on a little bit, everyone was saying to us in the comments, and, Chris did a phenomenal job on the content, the walkout video and stuff. You know, people in the comments saying, you know, I work in finance, and what business is ever going to turn down the opportunity to make money? Nobody believed that anything could come of it. Well, hang on, you know, the football club, it's not, again, we were talking about it not being a lot of money in terms of like transfers, a couple of million quid here and there, but you know, they've turned around and gone, it's a bold move for a football club, or a step in the right direction to say, you know what, that extra 2 million or 4 million pounds or whatever, it's actually more important to us to keep the fans happy than it is to put a few more quid in the coffers. And I think FSG, the owners of the Liverpool Football Club, have taken a very bold step in the right direction for football in general, because that puts the pressure onto every club in the Premier League now. Puts the pressure on Arsenal, puts the pressure on Man United, on Spurs, because hang on a second, everyone wants a bit of the cheaper ticket action, don't they?
Well, you know, Liverpool have given everybody a platform to do this as well, and I struggle with this word every single time, but the decategorisation of tickets could be something that goes across the Premier League, because now Liverpool fans are in a position where they go to Arsenal and go, why are you charging us Cat A? Yeah. We don't charge categories now. And it gives everybody a platform to start lowering the tickets.
So how in practical terms, how's that worked out at Liverpool?
Well, there's 3 categories at Liverpool, A, B and C for games. So Arsenal are obviously an A. You'd imagine Bournemouth would be a C, something like that, so the price is different. But within those 3 categories, there's 19 tiers of ticket and price. Now, when you enter a conversation with the club, and like Spirit Shankly have done in Spy and Cop and stuff, you want to reduce ticket prices. How much you take off each ticket? What's a fair thing? By them actually decategorising them all and making them all the same price, you can enter into a conversation whereby you go, let's reduce all the tickets by this much. Yeah. Whereas if there's 19 tiers of tickets, how do you enter and how do you decide which tickets are reduced?
Yeah, it makes it much more difficult, doesn't it?
Right, funny thing as well, last week at Arsenal, just before the U-turn by your guys.
Is this the 60 quid?
Yeah, there's also, and there was a U-turn by the Arsenal board as well, which is a very unusual thing. But they were going to charge this like surcharge on the tickets and add an extra £16 on at the end of the season onto season tickets for the extra money they were charging for the Barcelona game. And just on social media alone, the outcry, and they then sent it out by email notifying people, season ticket holders, and then a couple of days later, they sent another email out saying that they'd reverse that as well, and they're no longer going to also. And I wonder if maybe that might have had an effect on FSG, because the publicity on these things now with social media is that, you know, you can look really, really bad, and they're not going to be able to just get away with just hiking these prices up just like that.
It's a great example, Robbie, sorry, of like, again, it's true across the board, everyone needs cheaper tickets, but it's hard sometimes. Oh, it's horrible being at one of the bigger clubs. You know, I'm sure the clubs down the bottom would love to experience some of the things that we've experienced as fans for supporting these teams. But there's a tax on supporting a big club, and that's where the categorisation or decategorisation needs to happen across the board, because we're a category A game everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to play Liverpool, so it costs more money to be a Liverpool fan in general to ticket prices, because clubs go, well, hang on, that's a big game, we can charge more money for it, so we don't have cheap, you know, the cheaper way games.
That's the same as us as well. Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show that fans do actually have some power, doesn't it? And it's an amazing thing, and I've never thought I'd say it, but I'm proud of Liverpool fans. Generally you get wound up by Liverpool fans, but I'm prouder than... I'm like a proud father to Liverpool. A little Liverpool.
What about Arsenal? They did it as well.
Let us know what you think
about
the walk out on 77. And what should happen next? How can we use this momentum to change football for the better for all fans? Leave your comments below and subscribe to Ball Street. That's it.
We haven't included that in the stats.
That's a fair point.
Right,
but
you know, all these things, set piece, we put 5 past Leicester at their place when we played them last time. No one's remembering that. The season doesn't end in February.
So answer this question, why will Arsenal win the Premier League?